Welcome. Now we're going to work on our counter completion with all of our equipment, and we're going to work on a sweep, and we're going to have at least one sweep in the project, if not more. So I am using it to put a base on this round cabinet because it's very difficult to model the base without using a sweep. So the first thing I'm going to do is pick the path, and I'm going to use the existing curves that are there and the pick line tool in order to be able to put the base on those complex shapes. And I'm going to end up pulling in the end of it so that it begins after my panel, and on this one I'm going to pull it in till it begins on the back counter. And I want to move where the profile starts so I can have a good point of reference when I draw what the profile is going to look like. So I'm going to check off on this first part, and now I'm going to use Edit Profile. And I can use this 3D view, the default 3D view, to look at this profile. And I'm going to begin to draw a 6-inch metal base here, such as I showed you in that project. And the lines are really fat. It's hard for me to see them. I'm going to turn that off, and if you can barely see the hot pink that's still there, but I'm going to continue to draw the profile of the sweep that I want to make, the profile of the base. And I'm going to look at it and put it in a metal, and I can do a search, and there are a lot of standard stainless steel in there, and end up selecting the polished one just to get started. This is easy to change later, as you can see. All you do is go back and edit the sweep, and there we got it, a nice base on a curved surface, and we just finished that model and we're complete with that. Now we still have a situation where we need a recessed base on the back cabinets. And we need to remember when we're doing this void extrusion that we can only draw it on one face. And we usually need to be in a good straight on elevation to do it. That is the best way, or the floor plan, however the object was drawn. But in this case, this extrusion was drawn for the floor, so we need to take the void extrusion out of one of its faces. So I've got the rectangle carefully drawn on the face, and I'm going to check off on that, and I probably needed to say it was -3 inches, but here I've got it, and it looks like it didn't extrude quite out to the outside, and now I have the base drawn like that for the toe space. And the next void extrusion I want to make is to cut out where the sink is in the countertop. And I need to do that from the plan view as well. And we use a standard countertop with the sink hole already cut in. We don't have to do this, and depending on the sink that we use. But in this case, with that little sink that we have, we're going to need to make sure we're cutting it out of the base and not cutting it out of the countertop. That's the first thing. And now we have our space done. And I want you to make sure all of your equipment is sitting on the countertop. Again, I made my countertop extra tall, and I'm going to be looking for that kind of detail. Now we can see it in the main drawing, the design development drawing, and we're going to look at it in 3D, and you should be able to see your countertop in the space with the materials on it and all of the equipment showing.